to the last topic. We probably won't touch on this too much just because it's really hard to talk about it. And we don't watch, I guess I don't watch the O-lines as much and study them too crazy. But we're going to rank them, and these are more loose rankings. This is just what we think. We know the top two are set kind of where they are. I think we can agree on that.
I think 4 and 3 are very close or around the same
range. Yeah. So who do you have as your 4th ranked O-line?
So I have the Vikings at 4. Some of their players from their offensive line are Jirreh, Cleveland, Bradbury, Davis, O'Neal. I like the pick that they had in the first round this year. They drafted Christian Jirreh. He was a solid pick because they moved down to get him. They traded with the Jets, and the Jets gave them a couple of thirds, and they drafted him at 23, I believe. And the Jets took Elijah Vera Tucker, so they got their guy. I was very high on Jirreh. I thought Jirreh was going to be a top 15 pick with the amount of offensive tackle prospects in this class and how many teams need one. But I also like what they're building around there. It was definitely better than last year. They lost Riley Reef to the Bengals, so I don't know how that'll work out. But I think that the offensive lines in this division are just better. But I think that number 3 is very close to them as well.
Yeah, I also had them as 4th. I think the Jirreh pick was awesome. Like, they traded down and still got him, and they probably would have taken him there. So, like, the value there is insane. They got 2/3, which is also you can't complain about at all. So that was awesome. They did lose Riley Reef. Again, I don't know. I feel like Bengals fans have been making a big deal about him for whatever reason. I'm not completely sold. I think he's a pretty solid tackle, but nothing that, when you get Riley Reef, your O-line is just completely finalized and set. So, but yeah, Jirreh was great. But yeah, I mean, they just struggle pass blocking like so tremendously. I mean, you watch any Vikings game and when they're passing a lot, and it's like how is Kirk Cousins like still standing back there? Because the pocket collapse is just so fast, and that's why I think Kirk's underrated. And just the fact that he's standing back there delivering darts from a pocket that just collapses from all sides like instantly, it seems. So yeah, I have them as 4th. I think they're pretty solid run blocking though. Like, they're not like a horrible run blocking. I'd say they're average to maybe pretty decent at it. So at least they have that going for them, I guess. But who do you have as number 3, Abdul?
So number 3, I have the Chicago Bears. Their offensive line, they have projected at left tackle is Tevin Jenkins, who they drafted in the 2nd round, 39th overall in this year's draft. At left guard, we'll most likely have Cody Whitehair, and at center, Sam Mustipher. At right guard, James Daniels, and at right tackle, it'll most likely be Jermaine Ifedi versus Larry Borum, and Larry Borum was the 5th round offensive tackle that we drafted out of Mizzou. So I think that the offensive line will be decent this year. I'm not expecting a lot. I mean, last year, the beginning of the season was not great, but the thing is, we were facing some of the best D lines in football: the Steelers, the Rams, the Colts, all those teams. The line, yeah, the Packers too. So we didn't really get it together until towards the end of the season when we started playing worse teams, but also the formation. We suffered injuries. But I'm very high on Tevin Jenkins as a prospect. We also lost James Daniels. James Daniels tore his pectoral muscle in the beginning of the season. So losing your best offensive lineman is not great. But I'm very high on a comeback this year. I hope that will be better. But I think that overall they're decent. Mustipher, an undrafted free agent at center, is solid. We moved Cody Whitehair to left guard, his true position actually, because he played for center for the Bears for several years. But I like the formation right now. I think that will be decent, average around there. But overall, what do you think?
Yeah, I had them at 3 as well. I love Tevin Jenkins. I was kind of on the I hope the Packers draft Tevin Jenkins in the end of first round. I wouldn't have been mad. I love his run blocking. Obviously, that's incredible. Pass blocking, he's pretty good, but maybe he leaves a little to be desired. But his run blocking is special, and he sets the tone. And also the fact that he's the babyface assassin is kind of funny too.
Oh yeah, they've been murdering him on Twitter. He does not look like the player that he is.
He's a mauler too, and then he just has he literally looks like a kid. So I think that's hilarious. But I like him a lot. And yeah, like you mentioned, they had a lot of injuries last year, which when you have a revolving door at quarterbacks, you have a lot of injuries on the O-line. It's just a bad recipe
Yeah, it was a
for
bad
an
combination.
offense. But I feel like towards the end of the year, they kind of had a more continuity in that group and kind of figured it out more. And they ran the ball well towards the end of the year. So, like, there's hope there at least. But yeah, I don't think they're even close to these top two teams in the NFC North. I think they're clearly a step or two above. And then the Bears and the Vikings are pretty similar, but the Bears have, I guess it's promising that they're getting people back from injury, and then Tevin Jenkins is in there too.
And then possibly Morgan Moses, the right tackle from the Washington football team.
Oh, is he gonna?
Yeah, they met with him last week. So
okay, that'd be huge. Yeah, no, that'd be incredible if they got him. He was insane a few years ago. I feel like I haven't heard that name in just forever, but that would be a big signing for the Bears.
Yeah,
but we can get to 1 and 2